Ajax Liquor Store.
Ajax Liquor Store?
That's right, pal.
Yeah, you guys deliver?
We deliver.
You got any tequila?
We have tequila.
Tequila.
Yeah.
You got a quartz?
Quartz. We have quartz.
I don't want any quartz.
All right, how much do you want?
I want fifths.
You want fifths, all right.
4 fifths.
4 fifths tequila?
4 fifths tequila?
Yeah.
What do we got so far?
We got 4 fifths tequila.
Better make that 5.
5 fifths tequila.
5 fifths tequila?
Got that?
You got scotch?
We have scotch.
What do you got any cinema?
I beg your pardon?
4 fifths of scotch.
Hello.
So is this Ajax Liquor Store?
That's right, pal.
You listed in the yellow pages?
Yes, we are listed in the yellow pages.
How come you're listed in the taxidermy?
That's impossible.
What? I'm sorry. It was what?
It's impossible.
Oh, I must have a couple of pages missing in my phone book. What do we got so far?
5 fifths tequila, 5 fifths of scotch.
You got any beer?
We have beer.
All right, okay.
We have 16-ounce cans and 12-ounce cans.
Okay.
Well, how much do you want?
This, 2 cases.
2 cases. All right, I've got that down. All right.
Don't send any vermouth.
All right, I won't send any vermouth.
That makes my wife sick. She's out of town, but I do it just in her memory.
All right, okay. We have 5 fifths tequila, 5 fifths of scotch, and 2 cases of beer, 1 case of 16-ounce cans.
You just bring that right on up then, huh?
All right, where do you want me to deliver it?
Up to my house.
Where do you live?
Up on the north side.
On the north side?
Yeah.
Whereabouts on the north side?
Up there by the Japanese amusement park.
The Japanese amusement park. Right?
Bambi the deer plays there.
Is that right?
Where Bambi goes, nothing grows.
Right.
You still there?
I'm here. All right, don't you have any address, any numbers or anything like that?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Let's see.
All right.
5.
5.
2.
2.
No, that's not my address. That's my order.
That's the order. Yeah, that's what I thought.
You can. I'll turn a big red light on. You can't miss it.
Red light on. Okay.
There's a big statue of a brindle Great Dane dog out front.
You're not going to bite, is he?
No, he's just a statue.
Just a statue. Okay. We got 5 fifths tequila, 5 fifths of scotch, 2 cases of beer, 1 case of 16-ounce cans.
No vermouth.
No vermouth. I wouldn't send vermouth. And 1 case of... That's quite an order. You having a party?
Huh?
Are you having a party?
No. I'm just trying to work up the nerve to go to confession.
And their albums, of course, most of you people who live in Los Angeles and grew up with them, and those of you who never grew up and like their albums, they're just terrific. And they're the same off the air, I want you to know, because they're spontaneous, and it's their personalities mixed together that makes them the magic that they have. That makes the magic they have. When Hudson talks, Landry doesn't listen. And it works real good. I don't know why, but it works real good.
Huh? Well, we never made a big deal out of it. Really and truly, we worked hard at our albums, and we tried to get a basic frame of rules to go by as far as a show. But other than that, we didn't pound it to death or worry about it, because it's going to come around again too many times, you know?
Every day. We just wing it every day.
You did that morning show on KGBS, you did every day winging it?
Oh, yeah.
You didn't write out all of that stuff?
Oh, no. Oh, no. You can't write that much stuff. There's no way.
There's
you
not a
just
typewriter
can't.
in the world that will handle that.
No.
Well, you hated every record ever released anyway, Bob.
Well, no, it's not that. It's just that I just...
You
never
put down all the records.
I never wanted to get involved in the politics of picking music and playing music, because of Gary and Casey and maybe some other guys that have been involved in playing records. It's a lot of heartache involved in it.
Well, Gary
I knew guys that got very, very bent out of shape. If somebody brought a record around there like that, they wouldn't play it. I never...
Listen, you didn't play my record.
That's all. They would really get angry.
But perhaps you never studied the martial arts, as Gary has. He's very, very studied, you know, and also payola, which is another art.
Big art.
I never, ever wanted to be, I said, you put them down, I'll play them. I don't care what they are.
Lou Bedell is a record company president. Do you ever pay anybody any records? Anybody any money to play your records?
Absolutely not.
You gave us my Lanta, remember?
Yes.
Whole case of my Lanta.
And I give to you my Lanta.
You deserved it.
All right. Hold on a second now. This is the time to make your home more energy efficient and reduce utility bills. For a free home, all you got to do is go outside. It's warm today. For free home weatherization services, call Telecu. Telecu. T-E-L-A-C-U. Is that Telecu?
Telecu.
I'm learning as I go here. 263-3800.
KMPC. Involved in Southern California.
They don't mind that I'm a KISS graduate. It's just that I did it last night. Oh, boy. All right, let's go back to the phones here on the two-way radio on KMPC. Hello. That's the magic words. Hello. There should be somebody there when I say that.
Hi, Joey.
Ah, we got hiya. Is this Nancy?
Yeah.
I could tell right out of the box there.
Really?
Yes.
I thought I'd tell you that I'm listening to you.
Well, good. Nancy is our, we have an all-night show here. Emperor and Prince Ron. And this all-night show is called the Joey Reynolds Show. It's on between 2 and 5 on Monday mornings. We warm up for Robert W. Morgan. See, tonight I'm just warming up for King, for Larry King. But usually we do this 2 a.m. stint. And the station is off the air midnight till 2. I come on at 2 in the morning and warm the whole thing up, see. So Nancy is our weather girl. She is known as Misconception we call her, because the weather's from... You got the point. You got the point.
Yeah, sure.
And so Nancy gets to read the weather for us. She makes up funny things. What's the weather like, Nancy?
Oh, it's really good today. It's real warm.
That's funny, Nancy.
Dougie and I have the flu today.
You do?
Yeah. But the reason why I called is because I wanted to ask Hudson and Landry. You see, Lou Bedell gave me their record. And it's supposed to be worth something like $75. That's what Lou said.
Oh, he's pumping it up.
$69.50. I'll let you have one.
I want to know...
Did you give him $75 worth?
If they sign it.
Of weather, I mean.
Oh, we'll sign it. Sure we will.
Oh, great. I'd love it.
Well, then it's $80, baby.
No, then it's up to $100.
All right, Nancy, you going to bring it by?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or else they can come by and see me.
Well, you want Hudson Landry to stop over the house and do an appearance on the way home, is that it?
Yeah.
How about a record hop? You can get 50 of your friends together.
Okay, that sounds good. I like that.
Ron's got a very, very funny story about a record hop that I've told many, many times since. But people have to know what record hops are and have to know the ilk. You don't have to know what a disc jockey is like. Tell that story, Ron. When you left, you got a job offer in Boston. And
I was working in Hartford, WDRC, and it was a very big offer from WBZ in Boston, and I was not sure I got it, and then finally one day I got the call that I would get it, and all the guys were around, Sandy Beach, who you might know, and Dick Robinson and all those guys around.
Yeah, I know them all.
I said, look, gosh, I have something I have to say here. I've got a big break, and I just got an offer to go to WBZ, and everybody just kind of smiled. The lips went up like that, and Sandy Beach said, can I have your hops?
Record hops was a way of making extra money when you were a disc jockey, because you would do appearances at a high school originally, and then we spread out into bar mitzvahs and weddings, etc. People would hire us to play records, but sometimes we would get what was at the door. If we were doing this in a bar, we'd get $1 a head, for instance, and pay for the band. $75 for the band, $2,000 for us.
Yeah.
Right?
That's fair.
I set the all-time failure. I set the all-time record. A guy called me when I was in San Francisco and asked me if I would be interested in doing, a show, a record hop kind of a thing. And I was okay. I didn't care, And he had a plan, and he started laying the talent on me that was going to be there. And I said, wow, that's incredible. The Olympics, remember them?
Yeah.
Johnny and Dorsey Burnett, Gene Pitney, and...
Gene Pitney's from Connecticut, Ron. He's from your area there.
Sure,
That's right.
I made him cry this night.
The city without pity.
We went to this place. Guess how many people showed up?
How many?
28. Gene Pitney cried. I swear to God he did. Gene Pitney cried. Dorsey and Johnny Burnett both went out in the car and got drunk. God rest their souls, both of them, you know what I mean? Because,
The only intelligent
they said, why, it ain't no big deal. We're going to get paid, aren't we? And I said, yeah. But do you know where the guy held it? He got a big, big place. He held it at the fairgrounds at Pleasanton. And he'd been there when they were having the fair, when 500,000 people were there. But he didn't realize that everybody thought the place was closed on season. Nobody came.
Oh, boy. Nancy, you brought up a very good point.
Yeah?
Their records are collector's items.
Yes, they are.
And we touched on that subject on our all-night show just by accident one night. I had somebody bring by a record. Some fella brought a record by. And we played it on the air. He took the record after we had taped it. And he put it in his car, and he went to Doug's studio, which is Mystic Sound on Selma. And he parked in that lovely neighborhood.
Oh, yes.
And somebody robbed the car. The guy didn't want the car back. He wanted the record back, because the record was worth $5,000. And he has not seen the car nor the record since.
And do you know what?
What?
The police department gave him a ticket. But they didn't pick up the car.
They gave him a ticket for a car that doesn't exist.
Right. They gave him the ticket because the car was parked in a space too long, but they didn't call him up to tell him that they found his car. So when he came back to find his car with a ticket on it, again, the car was gone. It got stolen again.
But this guy cued us to the fact that there are records on the market worth $5,000 a clip. There's one album by, I don't know who it's by. It's a soundtrack album of the Caine Mutiny, and it's worth $5,000.
Orson Welles.
Is it Orson Welles narrating?
Playing the tuba. Now he plays the tuba.
Humphrey Bogart.
Orson Welles finished.
Very rare recording. The only one, I think.
I like these guys when they're live.
I know it's awful. I would buy no record ahead of its time. Thank you, Nancy.
You're real good.
Give Doug my best, will you?
I will.
And tell him when he gets over it to call me.
Well, you see what happened was we were supposed to come down there because Lou Bedell invited us,
Yeah.
but we couldn't make it.
Well, Lou and I are sharing the same mic. I'm kind of keeping him off the mic tonight.
Oh, you are,
Yeah.
huh?
Because he's been eating a lot of garlic.
Lou.
All right, thank you, Nancy.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Can we
Bye,
take some more
Nancy.
calls, guys?
Yeah.
All right, before we do that, let me sell something here in the store. It's 10:15. It's KMPC on a Friday night, the day after Christmas, in case you were sleeping for a few days, and we're going to hit it.
What's the new exciting way to make your checking pay and pay? Interest checking at BOA.
Starting December 31st, Bank of America will offer a new checking plan that pays interest. We call it Interest Checking, and it pays you the highest interest any bank or savings and loan can pay on checking. What's more, Interest Checking can be free at Bank of America because there's no service charge any month you maintain the required balance. Best of all, with our new combined balance service, your checking and your savings account balances are both counted to help you qualify for no-charge checking. So sign up now for Interest Checking and combined balance service at Bank of America and start earning interest on December 31st.
Interest checking at BOA.
Bank of America, member FDIC.
All right, we got to sell something else here. Now, one more thing. We can run out of here with a couple of TVs under our arms. Complete selection of GE appliances and TVs anywhere in the Valley. Guess where? Bars. Bars has them. 27... How would you say this if you guys were on the air now? 21720 Sherman Way. Would you say 21720 or 21720?
I'd kick it first so I could do it again, then they would get two for their money. And everybody'd say, he's not very sure of himself.
Yeah.
The guy would say, I like that. He got my address in twice.
Oh, that's what you would do then.
Sure.
You would blow it intentionally,
Sure,
like I've been
of course.
doing all night, right?
What was the address again? I know what you've been doing, and he knows what you've been doing.
But the audience
They
doesn't.
don't know what you've been doing.
You're like Lou Costello. Well, Bars is 3 blocks east of Topanga Canyon in Canoga Park, and the other one on Sherman Way, it's 21720.
21720?
Yeah.
Now, how would you say it? 21720?
That was my question. I asked you first.
Oh, I see.
I would give it in Spanish.
720.
I would say,
Yeah, 21720 Sherman Way, 3
Sherman
blocks
Way.
east of Topanga in Canoga.
Canoga.
And in Burbank at the corner of Magnolia and Hollywood with no address.
Mm-hmm.
At either store, you'll find the fast, personalized, friendly service that Bars has offered for over 30 years. Now, if there's a microwave oven on your shopping list, come on in and compare prices. GE's full-size multi-speed microwave with cook and defrost cycles is just $268 at Bars, $339 elsewhere. The popular cabinet-mounted Space Saver with rear and cooking light built-in is only $498, and you'll see that elsewhere for $589. You'll also find impressive savings on GE washers and dryers. The filter flow washers are now only $268, permanent press cycle dryer now $228, and bank terms, of course, no membership required either. At Bars on the corner of Magnolia and Hollywood Way in Burbank, and 21720 Sherman Way, 21720 Sherman Way, 3 blocks east of Topanga Canyon.
That's Bars.
We're having a baby. We're going to name our kid.
Bar?
Would you like to hear something pertinent to that?
This is a non sequitur show, so go ahead.
Would you like to hear something pertinent to that commercial? When the boys, and they'll test this, I went to this place, you didn't know that. When they had that hit album, the first one, their Christmas present was the microwave.
The microwave up from there? From Bars?
Mm-hmm.
At 22170?
No.
So he got you a microwave oven. This is the guy that doesn't get payola, right?
Still works.
I get it.
These guys are my partners.
Joey, are you really having a baby?
My wife is. I don't want to leave any openings with you two, since I know where you're going with.
Well, when is the blessed event?
In May.
Oh, how nice. And what are you going to name?
She was asking me today. Seriously, we're
Reynolds.
walking around trying to find a name. I said I hadn't given it any thought because there's so many names that I...
If it's a girl, why don't you call her May?
Why May?
Well, if it's
Hey, you know,
being born in May.
Could have some meaning, miss.
Well, my real last name is Pinto. And we were going to call the baby Ford.
You don't ever
Boy,
get hit
is
from
your
behind.
name really Pinto?
Yes. If it's a boy, we're going to call it Ford.
How could you ever change a name like that?
What a great name.
That's so great. What a great
Joey
name.
Pinto.
I worked for Robert Strauss in New York, and he made me change my name.
Oh, that's pitiful.
Because they thought that my name was a little bit too ethnic at the time.
People kill for names like that.
Yeah, especially in Mexico.
This is Joe Pinto.
And his heart
They
is...
kill for less than that.
That's, I think, one of the funniest the bits I ever heard was, what's his name? I don't get no respect.
Rodney.
Rodney Dangerfield, but the name there.
I got a great story for you. Henny Youngman. He said he was in a bar. You'll love this, Bob. You'll want to tell this again.
Okay.
He was in a bar, and he sat next to this unruly man. Guy kept falling off the stool. So he felt sorry for him. It was Christmas Eve. He picked him up. And the guy fell off again. He picked him up. So finally he says, I decided to take him home. The bartender wanted him out of there. So I dragged him outside, got a cab, and I put him in the cab, and he fell out of the cab. I pushed him inside. We got to his house. He told me where he lived. I pushed him upstairs. I pushed him up to his door. I rang the doorbell, and he fell again as his wife answered the door. And she said, where's my husband's wheelchair?
Oh, my. That's what I bought him for their second hit album.
Yeah, I got to tell all you guys a story that a cab driver told me in Ireland. My wife and I went to Ireland this past summer. And on a rainy night, I was driving with this cab driver, and his name was Jim Ryan. And I'll try to make this story fast, but I think it really is a good story. He said that in Ireland, they tell stories about the Kerry men. They're from Kerry. Most of the people in the town of Kerry are farmers, and they tell jokes about them. They say, did you hear about the Kerry men? That's the ethnic thing over there. So, but he said the fact of the matter is the Kerry men aren't really all that dumb. As a matter of fact, they're not dumb at all. But in any case, Kerry is playing Dublin in a soccer game, the championship. It's something they do every year. And a couple of the guys from Kerry came up, and they're in a pub. They come up early. The soccer game is on a Saturday, so they went to the dog races on a Friday night. And they enjoyed themselves, and they had a winner. And they bet a lot of money on one dog, and the dog won. And they were talking to each other. They said, we could do worse than to own that dog. He said, well, I understand that the owner of it comes about the pub here. And the owner of it was the biggest Sharpie in Dublin. His name was Joe Byrne. And he was there. They went over to him, they congratulated him on the dog, and said they hoped that the soccer game would be good the next day. And he said, oh, by the way, he said, your dog is a lovely dog, and we'd like to buy him. We offer you £500. And he said, the owner said, well, he's a bloody champion. I wouldn't take less than £1,000 for him. He said, oh, but in any case, I'll leave you my name. It's Joe O'Shea. I live on Mulberry Lane in Kerry, and if you should change your mind, let me know. In the meantime, good luck tomorrow at the soccer game. Well, as it turned out that night, when they brought the dog back after winning the dog race, whoever took care of him forgot to water him. He got dehydrated, and he died. So the guy says, this Sharpie says, hey, get a hold of those guys in Kerry. Tell them if they still want to buy the dog for £500, we'll do business. He said, but the dog, just I know what the dog is. The dog is dead. He says, but get a hold of him. So after the soccer game, they sent a letter down there. And sure enough, as long as it took for the mail to come, here come an answer. Yes, we'd still like the dog. And they had a check for £500. So they shipped him the dead dog. So the guy's thinking, my God, they're going to come up from Kerry and kill me, all of them. But a week goes by, nothing. They don't hear from him. A month goes by, nothing. Pretty soon a whole year went by, and it was time for the next soccer game between Dublin and Kerry. The guy from Dublin walks into the same bar, and here are these two guys from Kerry. And his face got red, and one of the guys from Kerry says, lovely dog you sent us. He said, oh, whatever came about on that? He's with the dog. He says, well, as you pointed out, he's a bloody champion, so we raffled him off. 2,000 tickets, £1 each. And he says, yes, but what happened when the winner come by to pick him up? He said, oh, well, he was dead, you know. We had no other option to give the bloke his £1 back.
Oh, boy. Well, look what they've done to your show, Hilly Rose. Ron, you look in great shape.
Thank you.
I know you've got to be 40.
I'm 45.
And you look terrific.
Thank you.
You're very healthy. You have a Palm Springs tan, for one thing.
Malibu tan.
And you look like you're really athletic.
Oh, well, I run a little bit.
Do you play golf at all?
Don't play golf. No, I stay away from golf.
Tennis?
Run on the beach, play a little tennis.
Yeah, because
sure.
you look great. You look
Want
the
to
type.
play?
Bob and I look like we hang around together. We like our food, don't we?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you're going to Palm Springs, what a nice way to slip this in. I feel like I at the Godfrey, right? You'll want to go the Swift way. Swift Airlines. Now serving Palm Springs and Los Angeles with 40 flights a week, subject to approval. What do you mean, who's Arthur Godfrey? This is an upper demographic show. Swift Air's non-stop flights get you there in less than an hour, and they feature factory-fresh Fokker turboprops. Be sure to drive Avis when you reach your destination. You can always count on Avis for quality, reliable rental cars. So reserve your Swift Air flight and your Avis car by calling this number. It's free. It's 800. So people immediately dial it, even if they don't want to go. 800-592-5900. Or the travel agent.
Those are the commercials that Ron used to hand me automatically.
You go right in your hand.
When he would hand me one, I knew there was dynamite in there somewhere.
We are roasting Hudson and Landry tonight. If you want to call us, it's 460-5710. In L.A., Orange County, it's 972-0710. San Fernando Valley, 989-0710. I should get this on tape. It's exhausting to read these phone numbers. South Bay, it's 519-0710. What a terrible job. San Gabriel Valley, 281-0710. Okay. I give up. Two-way radio, KMPC, hello. All that, and I didn't get anybody on the phone. Hello, who's this?
This is Rick, and I'm in Bakersfield.
Hi, Rick. You're calling long distance.
That is correct.
How you doing? Can you hear us?
Oh, yeah.
How are we coming in tonight with our big signal?
Well, unfortunately, it sounds like a pretty small signal in Bakersfield tonight, but...
yeah, I know.
But such is life, I guess. You guys don't go north too successfully.
Blame it on the ionosphere.
Yes, and the bossa nova, too.
That's good.
I'll let you die.
The couple of things I wanted to ask. One thing, and you guys may have covered this before, but having difficulty hearing you, I'd still be interested in knowing the answer. Bob, are you doing the talk show still in Boston?
No, I'm out here now. I was back there 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, after being in the warm clime of Southern California for 20 years, I just couldn't adjust.
Yeah.
I really couldn't.
Plus, he's rich now. He doesn't need the job.
Not too much horse racing activity in Boston, is there?
Oh, more than you need.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, more than anybody really needs. And they're all slow, visibly slow.
Mm-hmm.
That you can almost hear their feet moving. Saying,
Show up.
Come on, baby. Come on. Guy next to me says, what'd you say? Never mind. It's too late.
You used to live in Los Angeles?
No.
No.
No, I used to listen on KGBS, and, of course, go back to the KRLA days with Emperor Hudson and,
Casey Kasem, Bob Eubanks, Ted Quillen.
Oh, sure. Sure, great stuff.
Nobody believes all those people worked at one radio station at the same time.
Yeah, and Dick Biondi and all that stuff.
And they hated quiz shows.
One other thing, what TV show are you involved with, Ron?
I'm producing Flow with Jim,
oh, I see.
Yeah, with Jim Mulligan and Tom Viner and George Geiger and Isles and Stein.
Don't you love that? He knew it was a big national show right after you said that, and he went, oh, I see.
It's on CBS on Monday nights at 8 o'clock, and it's been a very successful run for Polly Holliday, who was a star.
Oh, that Flow.
That Flow.
One of the greatest bit, I don't know if it's on the Best Of album or not, the greatest bit I think that you guys do is something I only heard once and could never get a hold of, the bit about the guy who was a chocolate freak.
Oh.
They don't have that.
Isn't that something? That's the second time that's been requested tonight, Rick.
Yes.
We just don't have that because that was not included in any of our albums. It was a single.
Now, Lou Bedell, the record company president, with a statement.
Yes. You're fired up there, Megaton. No, seriously, here, this chocolate freak thing. We're coming in tomorrow night with Gene Farmer, right, on your show? Gene Farmer from Laugh-In?
All right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I'll bring in the chocolate freak when I come in tomorrow night, and we'll play it. If you're going to be listening tomorrow night, we have a captive audience, see?
Very good.
I'm not on tomorrow night. They're giving me funny looks. When am I on next again? Gene Farmer's coming over and there's not going to be a show tomorrow? You mean they canceled me in the middle of this one?
You're the last.
Well, now we're going to have fun.
3 o'clock Monday morning.
You guys never said goodbye on KGBS, did you?
No.
Never said goodbye. Why?
Why? I mean, isn't there a book called Never Say Goodbye or Never Look Back or something like that?
Yeah, but there's a lot of fun in saying goodbye.
Is this the end of the show?
I always thought I'd be around again someplace doing something, and these people, I figured we belonged to them and they belonged to us, and why say goodbye? I really didn't think, it was over.
That's why you have great fans.
Oh, really? I didn't think it was over.
It's still going on with you.
Look at that that board there. It's
all lighted.
Sure.
Got all these calls coming in. If I ever learn how to work it, we'll be in good shape. All right, thank you for your call.
Thank you.
Okay, buddy. Bye-bye.
Come on, Rick.
I'm going to take one more here, and then we're going to do one more. KMPC reminds you, for all the football scores this weekend, 24 hours a day, call the KMPC In-N-Out Burger Sports Wire at 460-4000. KMPC, hi.
Hello.
Who's this?
This is Alfred.
Hi, Alfred. This is Joey.
Yeah. Hey, Hudson and Landry, it's great hearing you two again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alfred.
I got my start listening to you when you were on KGBS in the morning.
What was your finish, Alfred?
No, but I think I have all your albums, and some of the other things that I haven't heard mentioned are, for instance, the obscene phone bus.
Oh, yeah.
Let's play that. Hey, Bob, Angel, we got an engineer named Angel. It's Christmas time, see. Angel, can we hear the obscene phone bust? Not the one that takes place now. I mean, the album, the record album you got in your hands. It's on the Best Of album, isn't it?
No,
not.
I don't think so.
No,
It's on what album?
It's on Right Off.
It's on the Right Off album.
The one with the two fellas jumping off of the in the car, jumping off. It's the picture.
Ron, at a party one night in Boston, a woman came up and said, my husband wants you to know that the obscene phone bust is his favorite thing of all time. Guess what he did for a living?
An undertaker.
He was a professor at Harvard.
I love it.
That's great. That's great.
You know, I used to work with, at 20th, we had Barry White. Remember? And Barry White on, right on, right on.
I started Barry White up in Casey and I had a little studio up here in Vermont, and we used to let Barry White come in and play the piano and get his stuff together. Lou remembers, and he didn't have a nickel, really and truly.
Oh, he's great.
I don't think you gentlemen know how powerful your comedy routines are.
Oh.
No, I'm serious.
Are we talking to Fred Silverman?
No.
I just wanted to check it out, that's all.
No, I was involved in theater arts, and we were, shall we say, dissecting comedy routines.
Uh-huh.
And somebody brought in a whole box full of comedy albums, and 2 or 3 of yours were in there.
Mm-hmm.
And we broke the comedy down into categories and like that. And the top 3 of the whole bunch was Hudson and Landry, Spike Jones, and the Goon Shows from Britain.
Oh, what a nice category to be included in.
Well, so, you know, we worked with Spike Jones Jr. We did a record with him, Raindrops Keep Falling on Your Head.
That's true.
We really, really did. We got permission from
Did
Burt
either one of you ever have any say on what went on the covers of your albums?
What, did we have any say? We had all the say.
All Lou did was sell them. Lou didn't care about that.
No, because my favorite album of yours is you have one called Hanging In There.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And on the front were like 2 court jesters getting lynched.
That's
right.
what it was, yeah, hanging in there.
Yeah, I never finished my Barry White story.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We got waylaid, and it's my one good line.
Yeah.
But I don't want to ruin the train of thought that's going on with this kid here. What's your name again?
Alfred.
Where are you from, Alfred?
Bell.
Didn't we go over this?
Oh, I was cut off.
No, I just wanted to do a commercial with Barry White at one time. I wanted him to stand there and say, right off, right off, right off. It was for H&R Block, but he wouldn't go along with it. That'd be a great spot for him.
You did a little spontaneous thing one time on KGBS after a commercial. A movie had come out, and it was, today it wouldn't be anything, but back then in those days it was a little offbeat. It was called Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde.
Uh-huh.
And it's the first time you played the commercial or something, and something ticked Bob off, and then he started into something, and you started doing a whole little mini routine there. And it was one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
We don't have the obscene phone bus.
No, we don't have that one. We don't have that one in there. It was their second album. It wasn't Right Off. It was.
Oh, we're going to have to make one up now. Let's do an obscene phone bus right now, guys.
But just to take up the few minutes of the. Obviously, these guys were so creative in the morning on their show, and when you said we're going to roast them, I came in one morning that.
How can anybody come to this show, sit here for 4 hours, and say, "Excuse me for taking up your time"?
Oh, watch this. Excuse me for taking up your time. I did it. I came in. Dick Clark was being roasted one night. This goes back a few years ago, and these guys let me. I was ill and I couldn't be on the dais. They had asked me to help roast him, And I came in about 2 or 3 days later, and I told the boys about it. I was supposed to roast Dick Clark, and they said, here, roast him on the air. So and he happened to be listening. If you're listening now, Dick, call in. I want to roast you again.
You're not done on this side.
No, I'll never forget. So I started out, I said, you know, I used to talk like this on their show. It was a Dr. Fresno routine. It was Joe Frisco used to be my idol. Anyway, we had this...
Why are you whispering, Lou? You're not on FM.
No, I'm trying to get my Joe Frisco voice. Joe Frisco used to talk like this all the time, and so I used the Joe Frisco voice to. I used my Joe Frisco voice to roast him. See, and I said, they wanted me to roast Dick Clark, and I said, well, how do you roast him? And he said, well, you just say something bad about him. So I thought for a minute, and I said, you can't say anything bad about Dick Clark. So he said, well, say something nice. And that was even tougher. And I'm not through yet. I think.
Alfred.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap it up here.
Okay,
We're going to give it the good old Reynolds rap.
Alfred,
Joey?
good luck in your career.
Well, my career isn't in that direction now. It's another direction.
You know, I assumed the way you thought that it wasn't. You dissected this as something for your own interest, right?
Yeah, I'm a welterweight now.
Are you a fighter, really?
Yeah.
My father was a fighter.
Really?
Yeah, he used to box oranges in California, he says. Told me that. Bad line.
Getting back to the roast.
Alfred, honest to God, that's great. I'm a real fight fan.
Hey, Alfred, it's been real nice talking to me.
Okay.
I know. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Alfred.
Every year, for over 124 years, thousands of value-minded men and women wait for this event. It's Harris & Frank's semi-annual clearance. Now you can take advantage of Harris & Frank's lowest prices of the year. Famous national quality brands, today's most wanted fashions, all reduced for final clearance. For example, Harris & Frank's most famous label three-piece suits, now just $159.99. If you're looking for value, Harris & Frank is the place to be. Men's sport coats, slacks, dress shirts, sports shirts, outerwear, sweaters, and shoes, all at special reduced prices. And women's blazers, dresses, coats, and coordinates are also on sale. Harris & Frank has lowered their prices, but not their standards. It's Harris & Frank's semi-annual clearance on now.
One of the reasons Lou Bedell likes me is because I use the word properly, Harris.
I love it. That's it. Harris is correct. That's correct. So anyway,
continuing on with our Harris.
So they said, well, you know, he comes from Philadelphia, Dick Clark. And I said, well, when you think of Dick Clark, you think of Philadelphia, and you also you think of, when you talk about Philadelphia, you think of the water there, and they both leave a bad taste in your mouth. That was, if Dick Clark's listening,
He won't call. He won't call.
He won't.
Hudson and Landry, comedians extraordinaire, and they haven't worked together in years, and they don't sound it, and they're our guests tonight, and I'm flattered and thrilled because, it's just a wonderful treat. This is the first time I've had the pleasure of doing a primetime show. Sitting in for Hilly Rose, and I'm very flattered to have you guys because it's tremendous, you know.
Well, we had some really great times together. And speaking of times, we were in places at some times. We were in Westchester, New York, doing a show the night that Martha Mitchell was hiding out in the hotel. Really and truly, she was up there. The guy said, "Yeah, Martha Mitchell's hiding up there." And we thought they were kidding, you know? And then it all came out. That's where the deal was. She was jabbed with a hypodermic needle by the FBI or something. Run now. We're entertaining that.
That was
night.
also the night that they introduced Irma and her bird. Before us, and she was supposed to do about 5 minutes, and she did about 30, and by the time we got on, everybody's going, hey, where's Irma and her bird?
Let me tell you about Irma and her bird.
No, please don't. We got more sponsors here. All right, it's almost 20 of 11. I see I'm getting down to not giving exact time anymore, right? I'm so unformatted. Tonight, we're going to play something that I should have played following Scott St. James' show, because he does the sports talk thing.
He's a good-looking guy, isn't he?
Oh, he's a great guy, too. He's another. All the people here are very nice. They're very easy to get along with. You know, it's very unlike the top 40 radio environment we're used to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not that dog-eat-dog thing, huh?
No, they don't do record hops.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
we're out here.
they all got contracts. What the heck, yeah.
This is the first job I've ever had where I got a letter from the management that was a favorable one. I read it earlier on the air. Did you listen to that when you were coming in, maybe?
Oh,
I heard that.
Oh,
Read that, Bob.
Can I, please?
Yeah, sure. It's great.
Dear Joey, best of the holiday season to you and your family. At this festive and happy time, we want you to take a few moments to share some thoughts with you about the coming year. But first, a word or two.
I like coming here because that means you might be working.
That's right. That's what's encouraging
that's
about
nice.
it.
Up until tonight.
Yeah.
But first, a word or two about your fine efforts during the last year just passed, or during the year just passed. In the day-to-day rush of activity, it's all too easy to let our appreciation for your contribution go unexpressed. So, we'll take this opportunity to say simply, thanks for a job well done. We can all agree that 1980 was an extraordinarily busy and hectic year. We experienced significant growth and some growing pains as well, but we believe we can look forward to next year with a high degree of optimism and with excitement about the opportunities ahead.
I never heard a speech like that either. You're really good at this. You should be a general manager.
Golden West Broadcasters prides itself on its tradition of being difficult. Being different than other entertainment companies. Call it a family feeling or a sense of shared purpose and a faith in one another. It's hard to define. But all of us who have been here, even a short while, know it's there. We reaffirm the company's commitment to that certain something that sets us apart as a basis for our future success. As to 1981, we project a continuing growth of Golden West Broadcasters, and we plan to significantly expand the activities of our recent additions. There will be an expanded employee communication program, which will be implemented in the first quarter of next year. In short, 1981 should be a banner year, both for Golden West Broadcasters and for all of us who make the company go. Again, may you and yours enjoy the blessings of the season. Warmest regards, Gene Autry.
Now, have you ever gotten a letter like that when you work for somebody?
Not from Gene.
No.
From anybody. I've never received one like that.
That's nice.
Let me take a crack at reading that whole thing.
No, please. Not like Joe Fresco. We've had enough of that voice.
I'd frame that. That's nice.
That's tremendous.
That is nice.
I have never gotten a letter like that in all the jobs I've had. 28 of them. I've had 28 jobs. I know it sounds it.
Did you ever get a watch?
I have gotten a watch. So we've done that. Those who just joined us, you're not getting the watch story now. Well, here's the Soul Bowl, which I told you minutes ago we were going to play. I never said what it was, did I?
No.
This is the thing we should have played following Scott St. James' sports talk show. It's a terrific cut. It's called the Soul Bowl. Hudson and Landry.
This is Ace Groveley, the world's greatest sportscaster and winner of this year's Monsteel Award. With me now, Blueberry Hill, legendary coach of the Rockefeller Center Super Souls, undefeated for 11 consecutive seasons.
Hey, it's what's shaking, baby.
Nothing but the leaves in the trees.
You bad, Ace, and I love it.
How's your quarterback?
Alexander the Divine. Cat's doing fine.
Well, what's the deal with Hips McNeil?
Well, same as the scene with Lima Bean Green.
You bench Jiving Clyde and Mr. Hyde.
Had to, man. Them cats was always outside.
My listeners want to know why you suspended Terrible Elite.
What was I gonna do? The cat judo chopped the referee when they were down on one knee.
I see.
Tell me.
All right, Blueberry. Let's talk about your defense. Come Sunday, the Soul Bowl. In plain English, who will comprise the Gorsome Foursome?
Sweet potato Tatum, Possum Youngblood, Salt Pork Parker, and Corn Pone Pickle. Let them dudes chew on that for a while.
How about Sweetwater Claxton?
No, he'll be out. His mom is sick.
I think I met his delightful mother.
Oh?
Selling lingerie at Macy's.
No, you got to be thinking of some other mother.
Well, be that as it may, what's it really gonna be like come Sunday and the Soul Bowl?
Well, I tell you this, Ace, we're gonna be there as high as the Lenox Avenue fish fry. I mean, let them cats take their best hold. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, let's hear your lineup, Blue.
Well, I don't know who's gonna play, but sure, here's the roster. Homesick Harris, Sonny Bright, Bad Wills Clarence, and Hucklebuck Wright, Booker T. Welfare, Two-Face Macy, Natural Nate, Nowhere Tracy, Out of Town Brown, Black Magic Ray, Jangle George Johnson, and All the Way Gray, Slow Learning Turner, and Strawberry Roan, and Bunsen Burner, and Tyrone Stone, Anthony Anderson, Fluid Drive Dixon, Hopalong Henderson, and Tricky Nixon, Business Ben, Boogaloo Bell, Fingers Trent, and Funky Marcel. Earthquake Blake, Hips McNeil, Jake the Snake, and the real Don Steele. Davis, Lima Bean Green, Nitroglycerin, and Split the Scene Dean. Righteous Roscoe, Ivory Joe Poe, and Automatic Toe, Buffalo Joe. Later, Ace, I got to go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to a startled reporter. The legendary Blueberry Hill. The amazing Blueberry Hill. Undefeated for 11 consecutive seasons. Expects to lose the Soul Bowl Sunday. I'll be back in 60 seconds.
Well, that's the Soul Bowl by Hudson and Landry on KMPC. I think we caught Joey out in the hallway getting a little coffee or something. It was good to hear that again. We haven't heard that.
I was out running, telling jokes. It's a running gag, see?
I heard you were out 4 nights running.
Can I give the timer on? I feel so compulsive about it. It's 11:15.
Oh, you didn't say that with verve and excitement.
How did you used to do when you were working at Big D Fun Time?
Oh, WDRC.
Yeah.
11:15.
You had to scream things in those days,
yes,
remember?
yes. You had to stand.
I never did, and Gary never did.
You never were a screamer.
Bill Balance never screamed. There are really very few people who made a living playing top 40 records that didn't scream.
What happened? Why is there no music format that's doing it now?
Well, I tell you, I think that right now, in the last maybe 10 years, the intelligence quotient of the country, because of communication, has moved up tremendously. Like the way they responded to John Lennon's death. 25 years ago, they wouldn't have responded that way. I don't care what the man had done. I think that the intelligence level of the whole country
is skyrocketed.
Yeah, and people don't want to be screamed at.
We actually made a record. We made one of our cuts on our album is called Top 40 DJs.
Top 40 DJs.
Two
we made
disc
fun of
jockeys.
them.
2 disc jockeys meeting on the street, talking in that way.
Do we have that here?
I think that's on. On the best of.
Lou says no. You don't have any of the good stuff with you, Lou.
No, you don't, Joey.
I mean, I don't have any of the good stuff here, Lou.
No, that was on that was on the very first album. They don't have it in there. The red one with the 2 guys hanging. Let me rephrase that.
so typical. All right, we're going to go to the phones here again.
What? You know, that's what made Casey Kasem one of the most versatile entertainers in the industry's history. No one would believe now that Casey, when he talks about Milky Ways and Century 21 and don't forget tonight to watch the Anthropology series on love, the greatest voice in the world, I have said Casey at one time made his living screaming. They won't believe it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, you know, he was a screamer because that is the thing that was being done at that time. Everybody, they call it, they like to call it an energy level. Like, you gotta love Biggie Nevins, and guys like Biggie, I said, let's raise the energy level. You mean scream, I think, that's what you've done.
Well, there are no screamers on radio anymore.
No, really and truly, they're gone.
They're on television now.
Yeah, right. they're mother-in-laws.
Cal.
Now, the whole idea is to communicate.
Yeah.
If you can do that, you'll be successful.
The whole idea is to have commercials.
Bond's low prices just got lower with great weekly advertised specials. Pork spare ribs, medium-sized, 99 cents a pound. Fritos corn chips, regular or king-size, 89 cents a 10-ounce bag. Golden ripe bananas, 21 cents a pound. Nabisco snack crackers, assorted varieties, just 75 cents an 8-ounce box. Quantities are limited, so everybody can share in these great savings. Come to Vons, where low prices just got lower.
We have to do this now. Come on, we're talking about guys behind their backs. We shouldn't do that. We're going to say something about someone. Say it on the air. Don't you dare.
No.
This offer at Vons is good through December 31st. This is Joey Reynolds for Hilly Rose with Hudson and Landry.
Remember this?
Gene got the biggest kick out of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the Gene Autry special, Glenn Campbell.
Lying and dishonesty and sin is a queer thing. It's not that you break any laws that's laid down by the Almighty God or Creator. It is that you break your own integrity. And I think my thought of that would be, I think Gene Autry is a man of honesty and integrity. And he's truly a great human being.
Because many of you have asked for copies of the Gene Autry special, KMPC has made arrangements so you can obtain your own copy of the Gene Autry special on cassette. The entire Gene Autry special without commercials can be yours by sending a $25 check or money order to Special, care of KMPC Radio, 5858 Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood, 90028. The Gene Autry special, now available on cassette for you from 710 KMPC.
Well, if anybody should go country, this station should, because of Gene Autry. He's the first, he was the first cowboy singer, first country western singer.
I worked with a fellow in Indianapolis.
Oh, you worked in a fellow in, oh, I see, we're going to go to the news thing. That's why your mic wasn't on, Bob.
R.C. Miller is the news.
I know who she is, and she's sitting by saying, what's he doing to me now?
Anyway, this fellow, he got a job with KVI. You know him, Bob Hardwick. And way back then, he said, I'm going to work for the greatest man in the industry. And I didn't know Gene Autry owned radio stations back then. But,
well,
he's been working for him ever since.
I think this station should go all country talk.
I believe it, boy.
Yeah, how did Thing Knockout work? I mean, howdy.
Do you have to stay in this country? I mean, what do? You just take phone calls from out yonder?
Just kind of like be like Lum Abner. Just about, you get, how's it going? Not bad. How's it going with you?
Not bad. How's the crops?
The crops, I haven't planted any this year.
You're not planting any at all?
I ain't planted any for 4 years.
Well,
it's the government. It's the deal I got worked out of the government.
Oh.
Yeah?
You don't tell me they pay you not to grow them.
Well, and I've known you for a long time. Hell, you ain't gonna go blab none. I planted some, but don't tell the government.
Will you get in trouble if they find out?
Well, hell, they won't pay me.
You mean they pay you not to grow things?
That's the idea, yeah, but not to grow it.
When did all that start?
Well, see, I tell you, your brother reads. I said to go visit him once in a while, keep up with them pamphlets.
Hold on, folks. I think that's a stereotype on a monotype station. KMPC-AM radio, 710 on the dial, and that's our phone number, too, 460-5710. You can call and ask Hudson Landry anything you want. You can even ask him to go out tonight if you want. Tracy Miller is standing by. Hi, Tracy. What's happening in the newsroom?
Film of some of the American hostages in Iran is causing some mixed emotions this evening from the families of the hostages. A man known as the Vampire Killer has been found dead, and 3 new power plants are planned in our state. I'll have details of those and other stories coming up at 11 o'clock.
Thanks, Trace. We're having good fun here tonight, aren't we? Boy, who's the guy that spits when he calls? Where's he from?
I'm sorry?
The character voice you do?
Doug Weedwell.
Doug Weedwell.
Where's he from?
Yeah, he's from Palmdale. Live out in the mobile home.
He would be very big on this station. Yeah. What do we have on the two-way radio now? KMPC.
Hello.
Hello, who's this?
This is John from Huntington Beach.
Hi, John.
And it's great to hear Hudson and Landry again.
Oh, I know.
Thank you, John.
I just want to tell you guys that first time I heard Emperor Hudson, I first came out to California in about 67 or 68, and I was listening to KFWB Gene Weed, and I thought, Gene Weed is sure a funny guy. I like the show. I listened every day, and I finally found out it was Emperor Hudson. Oh, the line that got me going was he finally said, "This is Emperor Hudson sitting in for Gene Weed," and he said, "Gene Weed's not here. He's gone hunting in Utah. He's gone up to shoot Bambi." I've been a fan and listening ever since. I followed him around, and then when Ron was also doing his show in the afternoon, I think Stansfield or something was you guys had so much fun together. You know, it's like you could care less what everybody else was thinking or whatever. You guys went on and did whatever you wanted to do. and you're laughing and having a great show.
Well, we believed, if you see somebody that races pigeons to win money, they're going to have losing pigeons. But you see somebody that races pigeons because they love pigeons, and they're going to have winning pigeons almost all the time.
Well, another thing, the guy from Palmdale and so forth, the one that you guys used to do, Joe Fresno, was a takeoff on Joe Frisco, right?
That's Lou sitting right here.
Yeah, well, I love that, and I got...
Please don't have him do it again. He's spitting all over me. We're using the same mic.
Well, the thing I was going to say, I didn't know about Joe Frisco until listening to the Johnny Carson show, and then you guys started doing Joe Fresno. And I'm sure you probably know the story that they told about Joe Frisco. They said that in New York he'd had a rough time at the track and was down and out, so he's pretty broke in his rooming house, and he went and got one of those cheap pictures off the wall of the Last Supper and took it down to the hawk shop, and the guy, the pawn shop, and he said, well, how much will you give me for it? And the guy said, well, how much do you want? Joe said, how about $20 a plate?
I never heard that. That's great.
I love that story.
Funny stuff. Are you working, kid?
That's good.
That's great.
One story that Bob talked about horses, and I don't know if it was Joe Frisco or who it was, something about they went to see the movie. In the movie, there's a horse race, and they'd gone to it this is the third time they'd gone to the movie, and the horse that wins, the guy coming out of just before the race starts, the guy bets on the horse, and it's not the horse that wins, right?
That's right. Yeah, he went to the movie with his agent because it was raining. There was nothing else to do, so just to get out of the hotel, they'd go to the same movie.
Yeah.
And naturally, being the same movie, the same horse wins every day. But Joe Frisco leaned over the guy next to him and said, "I bet you the 6-horse wins." And his agent nudges him, and the guy says, "All right, bet you $5." And naturally, the 7-horse won the same as the day before. And on the way out, the agent says, "You idiot, we've seen this movie 3 times, and the 7-horse won 2 days in a row." And he says, I thought he needed those races.
Let me ask you, who's Joe Frisco? Play the devil's advocate here.
I heard just a few cuts, but not very much, and and when you did Joe Fresno, that was great.
Well, who is Joe Frisco?
He was one of the great comics, and he stuttered.
Yeah, he stuttered.
He was really a tremendous, classic comedian.
In connection with that story, a great Joe Frisco story was this guy Frank Capra was doing a movie out at Santa Anita, and he said, "Joe, come on out. We'll use you in the movie." And he went out, and it was the end of the movie where they bury the horse. The horse wins, and at the end, they're burying the horse. And Joe walks up to Capra, and he says, "Hi, Mr. Capra, I'm here, and what do you want me to do?" He says, "Well, just hang around, Joe. We're burying the horse. It's a very, very important scene. It's the last scene of the picture. The horse wins, and he drops dead, and he's gone." So Joe comes back the next day, and he said, "I'm here again. What doing today?" He said, "Well, we're still burying the horse." Well, it comes back the third day, and he said, "Mr. Capra, they're still burying the horse today." And Capra says, "Yes." He said, "What the hell is he, an entry?"
Oh, we got to take time here, boy.
Look, I really appreciate it. Great hearing.
Thank you.
It started. The foreign exchange is on. In 3 of the last 4 years, more foreign car owners have traded their cars for Chevrolet than any other. For quality, price, and economy, see your Southern California Chevrolet dealer today. You'll be miles and dollars ahead.
Hudson and Landry with Joey Reynolds tonight for Hilly Rose. We're having a lot of fun. I don't think we're supposed to have this much fun. There's something illegal about it.
That's a super name, Joey Reynolds, but nobody could have made me change my name from Joey Pinto.
On Pinto.
I was known as, what was it, Riding 45s, Pinto, that kind of stuff. We made every cliche in the world out of that name.
Oh, what a great name. Oh, my God.
Took it away from me.
How many times have you regretted that down through the years? You had a name that anybody else would, like Cameron Mitchell.
When I was a kid, I was known as Joey, and I hated that when I went to school. So I wanted to be called Joe. I had the nuns in school, see? Then later on, I was known as Joseph. And I didn't like that. That was too formal. I wanted to be known as Joey. So they called me Joey. And I thought, gee, that's a strange name for an older guy, isn't it? And it is. Look at an old guy and say, "Hi, Joey, Bobby, Timmy."
Yeah.
You know, only in this business.
We have
will
a
I do.
president called Ronnie. I mean, you know.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing. I think.
When Lou, once in a while, Lou will say Bobby, you know, and I told him a story. My sister's the only one that would call me Bobby all the time, and she would do it to remind me that I was lesser than she was. Bobby. You know that meant don't touch that. Bobby? Yeah.
We're going to take 5 minutes to find out what's going on. While we're having our fun in the world here, we're going to find out what's going on out there. And we'll be back in 5 minutes, I guess, with some more of this. You guys going to stay is what I mean. That's the tone of voice. It means, will you stay?
You got more coffee? Sure.
Yeah, okay, good. We'll be right back. It's 11 o'clock on KMPC in Los Angeles. Tracy, take it away.
This is KMPC, Los Angeles.
A lot of mixed emotion this evening about a film showing the American hostages celebrating Christmas. This is Tracy Miller in KMPC Newsroom. It's 11 o'clock. The wife of one of the hostages in Iran is outraged at film released to American TV today, which shows the hostages singing Christmas carols and thanking those of us in the U.S. for our continued support.
I was told by family and friends today that I should be grateful and happy that he is alive and in reasonably good health. On the contrary, I feel a great deal of anger and resentment directed towards Iran for the continued detention of the 52 Americans being held there for well over a year now.
But Barbara Rosen's sentiments are not shared by the State Department, as Tom Foti reports.
The State Department is hoping that the visit by the Algerian ambassador and the televised messages from the hostages represent a permanent change in the conditions of captivity for the 52 Americans. Spokeswoman Sue Pittman expressed America's thanks to the Algerian diplomat for completing the first outside visit with the hostages in 8 months. But she stressed that neither that visit nor the Christmas messages should obscure the illegal nature of the whole hostage situation.
We hope that the conditions of the hostages reflected in what we have now seen will continue as long as their illegal detention continues.
In Plains, Georgia, President Carter also expressed relief that the hostages shown in the Christmas telecasts appeared to be in relatively good condition.
Members of the Algerian team, meanwhile, those diplomats who are acting as a go-between for Iran and the U.S. on hostage negotiations, will be arriving in Washington tomorrow. Deputy Secretary of State Warren Christopher will meet with the officials, but the topics that will be discussed have not been announced. More fuel for our future. 3 large power plants to be fueled by agricultural waste and sawdust will be built by California Power and Light of Fresno, which has announced those plants will be modeled after a 50,000 kilowatt facility in Madera, expected to go into operation in 1982. Utility officials say they will sell power to Pacific Gas and Electric, which has already made a deal with the Madera plant. A condemned convict known as the Vampire Killer because he admitted drinking the blood of at least one of his 6 victims has been found dead in his San Quentin prison cell. Prison officials say the body of Richard Chase was found in his death row cell today. There were indications he had taken an overdose of medication. Chase was convicted in May of '79 on charges of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to die. He was accused of killing 6 people in Sacramento in late '77 and early '78. Uniformed and plainclothes sheriff's deputies will take to the field tomorrow morning following a briefing on the case of Eileen Becky Scott. She is a 6-year-old Carson girl who has not been seen since Saturday. They will be looking for any clues from residents who may know something about her whereabouts. Sheriff's Deputy Chet Ballou, who says many leads from residents in the area where the girls live have been followed up, but no success so far. Contrary to what sheriff spokesmen were saying earlier this week, they now believe the child met with foul play, and says Ballou, whatever happened to her happened near her home, and it happened very quickly. Meanwhile, still no new leads in the case of Lisa Rosales, the 7-year-old Pacoima girl, whose body was found along Foothill Boulevard 3 weeks ago. The child had been strangled. 2,000 workers in Los Angeles will be looking for new jobs due to cuts in the federally funded CETA program. But just how long they're going to have before they're out on the streets is really the question at this time. Today, a city council committee voted to eliminate a $2.5 million shortfall and prolong employment for the workers. They are expected to lose...
We don't do that here.
Well, do you want to be first?
Yeah, I want to find out where you're from, first of all.
I'm from Los Angeles. I'm from the Los Feliz district.
Oh, that's why. I detect that certain sense of confidence that you have, you know.
That's why I'm so familiar with Emperor Hudson and...
That's right, Moot.
And Landry.
You got to talk on Ron's mic now.
Oh.
Because she's on yours.
Oh. Am I on the right mic?
Yeah, you're okay, Tracy. Don't worry. Don't you change a thing. You're cool.
Thank you very much.
This is the jive room here.
Well, you've got two of my favorite men in there.
Oh, good. I'm glad you said that. Nice to hear. Thank you.
Tracy. We're talking about turning KMPC into all-country talk.
All country talk?
Yeah.
And no news.
Are you going to wear burlap
And
vest?
no news? Well, if there's not going to be any news.
There'll be news. Hell yeah, we got to talk about what's happening down at the Greens Hall.
I can give the agriculture report.
That's what I say.
Now you're talking, honey.
I mean, bail us up. Just give us a rough idea about what buckwheat's going to be kicking in.
Buckwheat and rutabaga.
Yeah, rutabagas. We're going 2 for 1 of them rutabagas this year because we put them down in there. We didn't mean for them to grow. We put them down in the holler down there just to keep the water out of there and then where they grow. We got rutabagas.
Well, didn't you grow buckwheat for a while?
Yeah, that's to keep the wolverines off the land.
Oh, you got wolverines on your land?
No. No, this buckwheat works.
Oh, I
God. Thank you, Tracy.
Oh, thank you.
I think you were
It's been
victimized.
quite an experience. Just what kind of an experience I haven't figured out yet.
Well, I can
quite
tell
an
you.
experience.
Let me give you the time. It's 11:07 right now. Well, it's that time of year again. It's the time when you leave the house with Mylanta. Mylanta.
Hey, I've been out there waiting for a half hour for my
Now, you know,
I
the
know.
very
It's
last
in
thing-
Georgia.
I'm just not here to kick and be a sycophant. The very last thing I did before I left is I mixed a little soda with some Diet 7-Up because we were telling the truth. We did have pizza, and I had that uncomfortable feeling, and I would have liked to have had something. With a little more imagination than baking soda and Diet 7-Up.
Well, Mylanta will do it.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Oh, that'll take care of all that gas.
How would a man go about using that stuff? I mean, what is it? Is it...
Well, you just chew her.
Is that it?
You chew her down. Mylanta's awfully good for you.
Ah, there's a pack now. Yeah. No, those are cigarillos.
Mylanta fights the acid and gas that can cause symptoms of heartburn. I don't believe I'm setting them up and they're knocking them over. Acid indigestion, a sour stomach. Mylanta tastes so good, it's a relief in itself. And Mylanta's on special now at all Cap drugstores for only $1.89. Let me tell you, there's stores like the Kex... What is this? Key Rexall Drugs in La Mirada and Northridge Hills Pharmacy in Northridge. Have a little problem there? Mylanta, only $1.89. Enjoy your parties more, your family dinners more, even the suffering company. Available in a convenient flip-top package for pocket. You weren't too far from the cigarette bit, were you? Or purse at Cap drugstores like Durfee Drugs in El Monte and Crown Drug No. 1 in Gardena. There's so many of them, we keep mentioning them. Mylanta's the stuff.
And remember, Mylanta is your Landa.
Next, we're going to hear any friend of Mylanta. Never mind. All right, we're going to take calls now. Let me give the phone number slowly one more time because I'm accused of never being clear about them. It's 460-5710. Reason I'm not clear about them, well, people listen. They overhear things, and as you guys well know, they call information, and information doesn't give this phone number out. They'll call KMPC's normal business line. You get a tape. So this is the only number where you can be on the air. That's 460-5710.
Would you do me a favor to make me feel happy that I'm here?
Yo.
Would you dial this number for me? 1-617...
You want me to do that now?
Yeah.
I don't know how to dial out. I'm just learning how to take them in now. It requires 2 engineers. I ain't been here that long.
Yeah, you were doing it before you called your sister.
Yeah, I know, and then I screwed up the phones for the night.
Oh, did you? Well, we want...
All right, we'll do that in a second. Let me get somebody in who's qualified.
Right. Okay, and it's not dial-up prayer either.
All right. KMPC.
Yes, good evening.
Hi.
This is Bobby.
Where are you from, Bobby?
I'm living in Culver City at the moment.
You're running away from the law, aren't you, Bobby?
Excuse me?
You're hot, aren't you? Your real name isn't Bobby at all, is it?
I saw your picture
Yes,
at
it
the
is,
post
Robert.
office today.
No, Bobby, whatever. You want to call me?
Yeah, no, we're kidding, Bobby.
Yeah, that's my name. I like the name Bobby. Of course, I've been called that ever since I was little, and just kept it.
Oh, well,
the name
Bobby
'cause
Goldsboro.
For some reason, I didn't like Robert, even when I was small.
Oh, I didn't either. I used to tell Mr. Stubbe, don't call me Robert. And he would say,
Roberto, right.
stay after
I do.
school and beat the erasers. And then he would call me Robert.
You know, I all the time, of course, listen to KMPC. But let me tell you, did you ever remember? Did you live in New York at any time, any of you guys?
I did, yes. I lived in New York.
Well, did you ever hear of a radio program in New York called Happiness Exchange?
Oh, sure. That was Joe somebody, and he was on...
Big Joe.
Big Joe on NBC, I think, all night.
I thought it was WWRL.
Could have been.
Joe Franklin?
Mm-hmm. I think that's what it was.
That's on WOR.
Yeah.
WOR, yeah.
This was Big Joe and the
what's
Happiness
WOR?
Exchange.
Yeah, when he used to raise money for charities, you mean, all night long? Is that the same thing?
Oh, no, it was on between 10 and 12 on, I think, Friday nights or Thursday nights.
Could have been.
Yeah, anyway, do you remember a guy named Big Wilson on WNBC?
Oh, Big Wilson, sure.
I worked there.
And how about Ron Lundy on WABC?
I never worked there.
Ron Lundy came out of St. Louis, I think. Yes, I know Ron
Oh, yeah?
Lundy.
What's WABC like now, do you know?
I haven't been there in a while. I'm sure they're still the Swinging Seven.
No, they're all stock market now.
Oh, are they?
What?
All stock market.
How about WOR?
Well, Dorothy Kilgallen quit there, you know.
You must really miss New York.
Oh, not really, but I like to always know about the radio stations, you know, where the city I was brought up in. You know, I was brought up on Long Island, really.
I think WOR is probably the same as it always has been.
I'll be darned, because somebody had told me it went disco. So someone told me that, and I was a liar.
Probably WOR-FM.
Yeah. WOR-FM is playing hit music, and WOR-AM has hit conversations.
There's one right across...
Well, of course, WOR is on 710 also, like KMPC.
That's right.
So, wouldn't make any difference anyways. WOR, KMPC, put up the transmitter to 550,000 watts.
Yeah, well, it's about the same, isn't it? Both stations are similar.
Join them all together, huh?
One of them back there went all Dave Garraway.
You're not that old.
I'm only 28 years old.
How old are you, Bobby?
28.
And you are from New York, and you've been living in L.A. how long?
Only 2 years.
You never experienced Hudson and Landry, did you?
Excuse me?
You never experienced Hudson and Landry.
Hudson and Landry?
Hudson and Landry, they're our guests. These are the two people who are talking.
Yeah.
See, I'm Joey, and this is Bobby. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Testing. Okay, Bobby.
I'm here.
All right, watch my lips. I'm Joey, and this is Hudson, and that's Landry.
Blind.
The one on the left is Hudson. That's all right, then.
I couldn't see this through the radio anyway. I couldn't see through the phone.
Well,
anyway, I got
you can put your hand on the radio and feel it along with the rest of us. It's a good
my
vibe.
radio's in the bedroom. I'm just talking on the phone here in the living room.
Uh-huh. All right. You've been living here for a couple of years, and I say you never experienced Hudson and Landry. Have you ever heard any of their comedy albums?
Could I ask you what sign you are, Bobby?
Excuse me?
Could I ask you what sign you are?
Yes, I'm an Aries.
You're an... I thought so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about yourself and what you can expect during these next 9 days.
Oh, what did I expect?
Now, you're going to get something in the mail that's going to be brown. Don't try to open it. It's alive. You know, it's not going to be delivered by the mailman. It's going to crawl into your mailbox on its own. So what you want to do, when you see
I don't
this...
think Georgia would like that.
If you see this, call the Humane Society and tell them to come and get it out of there. But I'm going to tell you this. Your lucky number is 512.
My lucky number is 512.
And you're going to have many darling little elves come and sing a song to you, and it's going to be from a company that's looking for you or something you have to sell them. And whatever you do, don't be impolite to them while they're singing the telegram, because great things are in store for you. But watch the mailbox, and if you go to New York, listen to that all Dave Garraway station and tell me how it's working out, will you?
Oh, Dave Garraway?
Hey, Bobby.
Yeah.
What do you listen to on the radio? You listen to KMPC, right?
That, I also listen to, music I like on Saturdays and Sundays, of course, KRLA.
Yeah.
I like the oldies, of course.
Well, then listen to us. We're three good oldies.
I know that. I mean, you know what I mean, the top 40 oldies.
Uh-huh.
But, what I called about, I was wondering, would you guys, Joey, would you do me a favor?
I'll try.
Please? Could you call, Gene Francis from, General Hospital, who plays Laura Baldwin, or, the guy that plays Luke Spencer? I can't remember his last name. Ken? I wanted to find out what happened on, General Hospital, today. I was listening to it, of course. I listened to it on the radio, by the way.
She had the baby, I hear.
She had the baby.
Oh, no, I don't think you guys watch soap operas.
You know, what's her name? Shot J.R., you heard.
Excuse me?
That Mary.
Mary shot J.R.?
Mary Crosby plays a part of the girl that shot J.R.
About General Hospital.
He lived, you know.
On General Hospital today, Alex, she opened the box, and...
Is there anybody listening who is listening to KMPC right now who follows the soaps? You'll have to call and help us, because we don't know.
Oh, they all do. They all do.
No, they don't.
Oh, especially during Christmas holiday.
How could you listen to radio and watch television?
Well, you want to know something? I think this... Oh, I listen to it during the day.
Well, those of you who listen and watch, 460-5710.
Anyone who watches General Hospital during the day, between 2 and 3 on Channel 7, please let me know what happened when they opened the box today, the package, you know, at the end of the program, and Alex opened the box and then she screamed and there was a hissing sound.
You'll be the first to find out, Bobby.
Yes,
okay, and also, I'd like to ask you, could KMPC become a comedy station like this and be all happiness and goodness forever and ever, because it is a lot of fun.
Do you want to hang up on him?
No, wait, I gotta tell him about General Hospital. I know about the box bed. They got the box, and they opened, they ate it, and they took some of my lanta.
My lanta started hissing out of the bottle, started to scream.
All right, Bobby, we'll try to find out what's happening at General Hospital, and you keep in touch, all right?
God bless you all.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very,
God bless
very
you, too.
much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Okay, that's 460-5710. If you live in Los Angeles, that's the number to call at KMPC. I'm laughing because I think I just screwed up the phones again. I did. I knew it. All right, we may let me see if I can clear up the line here. All right, I think I did. Hi, KMPC.
Hi. I can't believe that anybody would have bothered to call in and ask about soap operas. That's ridiculous.
Why?
Why?
You're entitled to talk about anything you want.
No, that's not. I'm not talking about entitled to talk about it. I'm talking about the insanity of asking about it on the radio.
Well, it's better than the Dave Garroway show in New York.
Where could you find out this kind of information?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know, but
But you don't care.
I personally don't care whether anybody had the baby or who shot jail.
Oh, there's no baby involved. We just threw that in. We should have thrown it out.
Oh.
If there's anybody listening tonight who has watched General Hospital on television this afternoon and can fill Bobby in, we'll provide a public service here. We'll tell Bobby what's happening. So,
right.
you know, Bobby won't have to...
In any case, you're not angry, are you?
I'm not angry, no.
What's your first name?
If you are...
I'm Ron.
Ron, can I ask you a question real fast?
Oh, sure, go right
Around your house or garage or neighborhood, is there a baseball bat? I'm serious. I'm really serious.
I'm certain there is.
Okay. Now, if you can find a bar of ivory soap, okay? Now, you take the baseball bat and the ivory soap and go sit down and cross your legs. And you know where it says Hilrick and Bradsby?
Yeah.
Rub the ivory soap over there and watch how nice it changes the trademark on the bat. And then if you find that it's not nice, just go take a shower with the bat and all that soap will go out of there. And when you're all done, you won't be angry anymore.
I'll be...
You'll be clean.
It's an experience for you. Freud used to tell us people to do it, only he did it with a polo mallet because they didn't have baseball in Austria.
Are you following all this, Ron?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
He's happier now. Ron, you're starting to get happier already, right?
Oh, yes.
Ah, see, that's great.
I wonder what's happened to our older listeners. They're getting all the 20s and 22s.
Most of them are asleep.
No.
I'll tell you what, I'll wait 10 years and call you back.
Hey, listen.
Can we put you on hold?
How long?
See, you're right. You said the audience is hip now, or you implied that.
Whatever you do, don't use that blue box to call us, because remember what happened to Bernie Kornfeld?
Oh, Bernie Kornfeld.
Yeah. He was using that blue box in Switzerland, and man, he was wailing.
You know what a blue box is?
And the FBI was trailing.
Oh.
Yeah, he landed up in a slammer, monkeying around, calling all over the world. You're not calling from Switzerland, are you?
No, not that I know of.
You have a Swiss accent.
That's the reason I asked him. You picked up on that.
Of course I did. I didn't just come in on a load of pumpkins.
Hey, Ron, can you hold on for a second? We got to sell some Swiss cheese, ironically. Try the sweet, nutty flavor of Dairy Fresh Mont Austria Swiss.
That's what it was. It wasn't an accent. I was smelling that cheese.
Oh, that's great.
It's made high in the Austrian mountains where the climate and the water purity are ideal for making mouth-watering Swiss cheese. Dairy Fresh Mont Austria Swiss. It's sliced and individually separated by parchment paper for easy handling. Look for the identifiable red crown of Dairy Fresh on the label of this fine imported Austrian Swiss cheese. You'll find Dairy Fresh Mont Austria sliced Swiss cheese at Ralph's, Vaughn's, and Lucky's. Mont Austria Swiss cheese sure tastes good. I guess one reason is because it's made high in the mountains of Austria, like I says, where the cheese experts say the climate and the water purity are ideal for making Swiss cheese. And I think the other reason is because Swiss cheese just is darn good anyway, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Especially with ham.
I went into Ralph's and I asked for 50 cents worth of Swiss cheese, and the guy wrapped up 3 holes. Take it from a connoisseur. The sweet and nutty taste of quality Swiss cheese really comes through in Dairy Fresh Mont Austria sliced Swiss cheese. All right, Ron?
That's it.
What kind are you gonna ask for when you go out now and buy some Swiss?
Swiss?
Yeah, what kind?
I don't speak Swiss.
No, I said what kind of Swiss cheese you're gonna ask for?
Oh, yeah. Swiss cheese, huh?
This is the only market I ever...
In it, right?
I never worked in a market like this. It's the only market I ever worked in where the audience never does anything they're supposed to on cue.
Hey, Ron, do you have any hokey cousins or uncles that use ketchup on Swiss cheese?
Ketchup on Swiss? Never.
Yeah. Well, isn't that the lowest?
No, the lowest is mayonnaise on pastrami.
That's not... Yeah,
I like that.
That's good.
I like that. But don't throw you out of a kosher restaurant with that stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
When you see somebody with a bottle of ketchup over Swiss cheese, you almost want to intercept it.
No, this no-cal pizza that Emperor Bob makes. You know, that's really good stuff. All right, Ron, it's been real fun, hasn't it?
You betcha.
You didn't say the magic word, so you don't win the $9 million, but remember...
Well, I'll tell you, then I'll write you a check.
It's the season to be jolly.
If that bounces, I'll write you another one.
All right.
Ron? Hey, Ronnie?
Yes.
Older boys need single fathers who care. Show you care by becoming a foster parent. This is not for you. Call the L.A. County Department of Adoptions today at 381-2761. Nice thing to do around these times.
KMPC. Involved in Southern California.
Do I get a break now, or are we going to talk again? I like it better when you play music. You have time to breathe and swallow. You know. We're talking with Hudson and Landry, and they're a famous comedy team. I just think they're the best at what they do, and I like you guys better than Loman and Barkley. I just got to say it on the air.
What a nice thing to say.
I'll tell you, that is a nice thing for
Yeah,
a man.
you guys have...
I listen to Roger now myself sometimes. They're not bad, you know.
No, but you guys haven't had 3 TV shows to prove that you're not funny. Or is it 4?
Oh, they're in syndication.
No, they're very good. I'm just taking a little poke at them because I wanted to get the adrenal glands going on the audience. You can call now at 460-5710. We're going to play Reaching for Calls. Or is it dialing for... What is it?
Dialing for comedy.
San Fernando, 989-0710. South Bay, 519-0710. San Gabriel. Where do you live?
281-0710.
Where do you live, Ron? You must live in San Gabriel.
I live in Malibu.
You do? You live right on the beach?
Point Doom.
You must have money. Lots of it. Elephant money. Elephant bucks. Los Angeles, 460-5710. If you have any questions you want to ask us. Meanwhile, I want to play another cut from the album. You got that thing queued up?
What are we going to hear?
What thing? That's what he's saying. Angela's saying, what thing queued up?
How about the Prospectors?
Let me in on this. The Prospectors.
Prospectors are, that's from the best of.
Yeah, I couldn't live like that.
I couldn't live like that either. He's looking for it right now. He's going through all of the cuts, and he'll have it up there before we know it.
Yeah.
We're going to have it tonight on this show.
Well, listen, while we stall, see, what's happening is the engineer has got the records in the control room. Now, we used to have an all-request station in Worcester, Massachusetts.
Oh, sure.
Where...
You worked in Worcester, too?
A good friend of mine owned the station. He called in and you wanted to hear a record. You had to get that record on within 30 seconds, no matter what it was. Is that right, Ron?
Sure.
Remember the station? See, he's all set now. We got all these calls coming in. Now everything... We had to stall for a minute. Now all the phones are going crazy, and the calls are coming in, and the record's going, and everything's happening at once. When we need to kill time, where were you at that time?
Hey, Zeke. Yeah, Rafe. You're sitting on a diamondback rattlesnake. Plumb on him? Smack dab right on him. Well, don't worry about it. I ain't gonna hurt him none. Yes, old Floyd. Oh, I better get off him then. I'm sorry, Floyd. Don't go getting all sentimental now, Floyd. Just go curl up somewhere. Boy, I couldn't live like that. That Floyd's a good old snake-o, you know it? Yeah. When he goes, I'm gonna make a wallet out of him. You don't do what? I'm gonna make a wallet out of him. That's what I thought you said. Dirty sidewinding, no account claim jumping. You struck it rich, didn't you? No. You hit the mother lode? No. You found some gold dust? No. You're holding out on me? No. That's the reason you need the wallet. No, I ain't either. I ain't found no dust. I ain't, I swear. Well, just look down the barrel of old Betsy here and tell me that.
Put that down. We ain't had no boats in over 20 years. Besides, I'm your partner. I wouldn't cross you.
You better not.
I hope to spit in your mess kit. Oh, sorry, Floyd.
Boy, I couldn't live like that. Boy, you better never steal from me, Zeke. You better never get into my bag.
No.
You know what it says in the Bible?
What does it say?
Thou shalt not steal.
Yeah, I ain't gonna steal.
By the way, where's the Bible?
You know where the Bible is, as well as I do.
Where?
We smoked it.
Getting cold.
Yeah. Well, the fire went out.
When?
Monday.
This week?
Yeah. Hey, what's old Floyd doing over there?
Oh, don't pay him no mind. He's eating a gopher.
Boy, I couldn't live like that.
There goes that fireman again.
Yeah.
The other one will be starting in soon.
No, he won't neither.
How's that?
Floyd ate him.
Well, I couldn't live like that. You know, Zeke, you're getting powerful gamey. How long's it been since you've been down the creek and took yourself a good bath?
You're getting to sound like old Farley. He was a fiend for that. There's nothing for him to go out and take 2-3 baths a year.
Yeah, old Farley, huh?
Yeah.
Almost forgot Farley. I told him not to tease Floyd when he was eating.
We're going to have to bury him.
Yeah, we keep putting it off.
Ever occurred to you, might be old Farley was getting gamey?
Boy, you'll do anything to get out of that bath, won't you?
You know, Rafe, I was just sitting there thinking.
Yeah?
How long has it been since we've seen a woman? I mean, a real live, genuine woman. Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh, I say. Gotta be 25 years.
That long?
Yeah, down Central City at the picture show. Betty Grable.
Oh, yeah. And this city slicker, he is out there chasing her. Remember that?
Boy, I bet you had perfume all over, don't you, Post?
Boy, he sure acted that way, didn't he?
Oh, boy, he sure made a fool of himself, didn't he?
Yeah. Boy, I couldn't live like that.
Vaughn's low prices just got lower with great weekly advertised specials. Vaughn's Table King T-bone steaks, beef loin, $2.49 a pound. Vaughn's frozen orange juice, 59 cents a 12-ounce can. Regular and diet 7-Up, 2-liter size, 99 cents. Vaughn's paper towels, 59 cents a roll. Quantities are limited, so everybody can share in these great savings. Come to Vaughn's, where low prices just got lower.
Yeah. That's what I said.
That's right. An offer is good until December 31st, too, Bob. That's all right. We're having our own conversation in here. You know, comedy records are playing, and we're having conversation, and it's not on the air. And we're taking phone calls. And I'm going to... What? What were you going to say, Bob? Go ahead.
No. Don't feed the bird.
Don't touch anything
Don't
here.
feed the
Please.
bird.
The phones have been beautiful for 2 hours now.
Birds
on a liquid diet.
And don't feed the bird.
All right, you guys, we're going to break Armenian string cheese together in just a moment. Hold on.
This is Hilly Rose. All this coming week, I'll be sitting in for Dr. Laura Schlesinger. And Monday morning at 10 o'clock, we'll talk about returning Christmas presents. We'll also talk about quitting, knowing when to leave a job, a marriage, even a lifestyle. After all, New Year's resolutions are coming. Lots more right here on The Hilly Rose Show, 10 to 2 in the daytime on 710 KMPC.
KMPC, Los Angeles.
KMPC is trying to be old-fashioned. We want to go back to a time when people took the time to talk, to stop, and listen to each other. That's what KMPC is all about.
KMPC Los Angeles.
Now we're going to find out what the show is all about. Oh, it's all about 4 hours. Hudson and Landry with Joey Reynolds, for Hilly Rose, who's usually here. We have here 11:30 on our clock, and it's day after Christmas, and we're high-spirited, and I haven't asked the inevitable question. Just before I go to the phones, I want to ask you, Ron, what did you get for Christmas?
What did I get for an Oriental rug?
From your wife? Your wife?
My wife gave me an Oriental rug.
How many kids you
I
got?
just need an Oriental who's bald.
Boy, I should never have set it up.
No, I did. I really got an Oriental rug.
Yeah.
And I got a big screen TV.
What do you mean big screen? You
Big
mean
screen.
the
50-inch.
26? Oh,
50-inch diagonal.
Oh, boy.
Like that.
That's great. We're going to have those pretty soon, all of us, on our walls, huh?
I got a bottle of Aramis.
I didn't ask. Didn't ask, Bob. I wasn't going to set you up at all. I got burned once here. Moving right along. What do we have? Hi, KMPC.
Hello there.
Hi.
Yeah, every time I go to the market to buy Swiss cheese, I get Mount Austria.
Thank you. It's about time, Ronnie. I'm glad you got it right.
Oh, this isn't Ronnie. This is Bob.
Oh, hi, Bob. I'm glad you got it right, Bob.
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I called to talk to His Majesty.
How do you do?
Good evening, Your Honor. It has been a long time.
Oh, yeah. Boy,
That's about 3.5 hours. I'm tired.
Seems like it. I just got done watching James Bond, and I was going to go to bed, and I turned the radio on, go to sleep too, and I heard that voice, and I thought, it isn't.
There they are again.
And I thought,
Sirens?
it is.
Sirens start going off in your neighborhood?
Not yet. No, it must be a low-power set.
The odds against this there goes my mouth again, would be 1,000,000 to 1. But would you have, by any chance, been listening to... You remember when Ron and I come back from the Mike Douglas show, and we'd been on with Yoko Ono, and she called around Philadelphia. She'd just pick up the phone and call and say, I love you. So Ron and I started doing that, and it was really great. It really worked great. Even though it was pretty early in the morning, we'd call, and when they'd answer, we'd say, we're Hudson Landry, and we love you.
Yes.
And people would say, well, you know, that is very nice. But one morning, it happened. Remember, Ron? One lady who was really, you know, Marie Antoinette's squirrel cage, overseer. Oh, boy. She told us that we were the reason for all the murders and all the rapes and all the, She went on for about 10 minutes.
We let her go on. We just
because she was really kicking into gear.
We served high tea while she was saying all that.
Sounded like Betty Davis sitting on a Yule log, you know. Oh, gosh.
What, Bob? Go ahead, Bob. We're listening.
Oh, good. So was I. I was enjoying it. I remember that. Although you never called me, but that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Did you know?
Are you by any chance coming back into Los Angeles to come on the radio?
I am back in Los Angeles, and I am on the radio.
Well, see what can I ask what station?
No, I was kidding. I'm just here with Joey tonight along with Ron, and I'll be back in radio probably. You know,
after this show, they should call him tomorrow.
Most likely. But I ain't no hurry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not.
If you got a good gig going, why stretch out?
Yeah, well, you know, I'm sure I will be. Let's put it that way, okay?
Thank you, Your Majesty. I really appreciate it. It's been good listening and talking to you.
Hey, Bob, where are you from, loyal subject?
I live out in Westchester.
Okay, just wanted to get that in. I'm trying to figure out where these listeners are from, because everybody's from... It's a surprise. There are young people listening, there are old people, and they're from here and there.
Fast.
You have a good mix.
A couple more weeks, we'll be 34.
How old are you?
In a couple more weeks, I'll be 34. It's downhill.
What do you do?
No, Bob. That's the best time of your life, 34.
Oh.
Sure. Hey, wait till
I can hardly wait.
36 is wonderful.
What do you think you're going to do when you hit 40, if you feel bad about that now?
Well, I figure right after... That's when I apply for Social Security.
Wait till you find out there is none.
I know. I've been wondering where my money's been going to all these years.
What kind of work do you do?
I work for courier service.
Ah, you mean that overnight kind of thing?
No, local.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wouldn't it be great if you were a courier, smuggling jade or something like that? You know, for the heavy buck.
I'd rather smuggle Swiss cheese, Your Majesty.
They don't do that anymore. You know the way they get diamonds and everything to other people now? They mail them. Put a 15-cent stamp on them and mail them.
I mean, I could understand sending it like Federal Express or United Parcel, but to trust it to the Postal Service, for God's sake.
Yeah, they'd lose it. Safest way. Yeah, really, because, you know, if you don't, James Bond and all the people know they follow you and everything, you know, they get chlorophyll. They get girls with long black stockings and They chloroform you, down by the Palomino Club, and the first thing you know, there go the diamonds.
Last week we sent a Maltese hummingbird through the mail. Because he had lost, got squashed in one of the machines.
You know that President-elect Reagan he's a neighbor of Mort Saul's. We have not had Mort on the show yet, although I've spoken to him. And he says he will do the show one of these evenings.
Oh, great.
When I'm sitting in, so I guess sometime next week we'll have him on.
Keep your head clear.
I've been another thing I've been wondering. Everybody, like when...
I can never finish a story. The callers always interrupt my stories. I never interrupt you guys, just mine. Sorry, Bob, go ahead.
For the phone call.
Sorry, Bob, you're paying. You're on message units or Zooms or whatever they do to you now.
More than likely. Everything they can. There was...
Have you heard my record, Ma Bell, You Got Me by the Calls? Would you like me to play that for you, Bob? Does that tickle you any?
That rings my bell, yes.
Well, then just hold on. Let me finish my story.
Oh, okay.
God. Anyhow, Mort Saul was down the street from Ronald Reagan, and he said that he did not get his invitation to Ronald Reagan's inaugural party. And Ronald Reagan said, well, it's probably the mail. So Mort Saul says, would you do something about the mail then when you get into office? And he says, yeah. He says, I'll fire the whole post office department. He says, the whole postal service? He says, yeah. He said, well, that won't do any good. He said, why not? I'll mail them their last check.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Is that all right, Bob?
Yeah, that's not bad.
All right. Now, what were you going to say?
Just a thought now, having listened to Ronald Reagan speak, and listen, there were people who parodied President Carter, soon to be ex, people who made fun of Ford. Is there any way you can do an imitation of Wrinkles? I mean, that's the only thing there is to copy of the man.
No, but they're all out of Grecian formula.
His barber swears he's never been touched
imitators
up.
coming on. And what is there to imitate besides the wrinkles?
I'm going to tell you guys the truth. I have the same barber as Nancy Reagan. We go to the same place. It's called, I'm not going to mention it, but it's in Beverly Hills. I've been going there for years. And I don't get coiffed. I just get cut. They put a bowl on it and go at it. They give me the Italian Gibboni cut. And I wear this thing, see, this pigeon do that I have. So the two guys were fighting over Nancy Reagan's hair one afternoon when I was in there getting my cut last time. I was coming here to the station to interview someone, and I was late for Connie Francis. I hadn't seen her in 15 years, neither have any of us, P.S. So there I am in this menage or whatever, I'm not going to give you the last name, barbershop, saloon. I'm getting coiffed, and these two barbers are going at it. Well, I'm going to do it. No, I'm doing it. Put that down. I'm doing it. She wasn't even there. She sends her hair in.
No deposit, no return.
We're going, Bob.
Okay, I'll see you guys later. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you, Bob.
Gee, nice talking to me, isn't it, Bob?
Oh, Joey, it's just dynamite talking to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. You got a lot of nice fans. You know that?
Yeah, well, we were around for quite a while.
How long were you on the air here?
Well, I started in April of 1963. Ron started in April of 1970, so that's a whole lot of years.
Yeah.
You guys must have written a lot of spots while you were on the air, huh? Made a lot of money for sponsors, didn't you?
Enough.
Did you ever have the Barker Brothers?
Barker Brothers? You mean the...
No, not the Monopoly people.
Not those people.
No. This is a one-shot here. Barker Brothers, fantastic year-end clearances going on. Now you'll find special savings on hundreds of quality home furnishings. Choose from a wide assortment of sofas, chairs, recliners, tables, bedrooms, and dining rooms, and they're all greatly reduced. Just like you ought to be, Bob. There's low year-end clearance prices. Mattresses, carpet, and home accessories, too. See, I'm getting to know them now. I'm opening my mouth. That's how I get fired. It's a special savings event you don't want to miss. Shop Barker Brothers year-end clearance today at all 16 convenient locations. It is a monopoly.
I'd like to buy an ottoman. Do they have ottomans over there?
Yeah, and there's a polar bear, too.
Is there?
What's an ottoman?
About
$3.98.
No, he's the head of Austria.
Here we go.
I love KMPC-AM. Robert W. Morgan, Dr. Lower, Merv Griffin, Gary Owens, Captain Bean, Tilly Rose, and Larry King too.
It just goes to prove you don't have to be a good singer to like KMPC.
Robert W. Morgan, Dr. Lower, Merv Griffin, Gary Owens, Captain James, Tilly Rose, and Larry King.
No matter how you say it or try to sing it, thanks for listening to KMPC.
I'm going to sing my song now? Sitting in.
Joey Reynolds. Where's your little Joey Reynolds jingle you used to have?
I tried to refrain from that because it's done by the Four Seasons, and they think of me as an oldie whenever I play it.
You remember?
But can you guys talk while I go get it?
Sure.
Okay,
we'll talk.
We've got to put him under the greatest jingle writer around. Remember?
Chuck Blur?
Our friend, Bruce, who lives down in Whittier. Put your fingers in your mouth. Da-da-da-da-da, you know. Hudson Landry. You know, remember?
Oh, yeah, right.
He
Yeah.
did one for me in Boston.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a great jingle by the Four Seasons. He used to play way back in Hartford. He played it back in Buffalo. He played it at all the 28 stations that he's worked at. It's a great jingle that they did just for him. He's a wild guy, isn't he? He did leave. He's not in the room right now.
I love the guy. While he's not here, let me tell you something. This guy's great. You know, this guy's great. You know what I mean? Now, Bob, now see, I got a laugh from Bob. You know.
I'm trying to figure out if the audience really believes that he is gone. He is gone.
He is gone. Can you believe that Joey? Now this is how wild. He actually left the studio with Hudson and Landry and Lou Bedell in the studio to hold on to KMPC.
Wait.
Sure, we could take her and make her fly us to Cuba right now.
That's right. You can hijack the whole station.
He knows. He knows. You know. They don't know.
Hey, do you know what? Hey, I'm going to ask you. They know about that commercial now.
What's this?
Joey, come back here. Now, the commercial that Lou was just alluding to.
You can't even go to the bathroom here, you know.
Yeah.
There's no records to put on. You got to just do it all while you're here.
The guy said that they're in the patent office and they got the blanket down there, and the guy says, I got something. The guy says, hey, you didn't invent that. Northern Lamp invented that. And the big guy says, you know that. And I know that. But they don't know that. Now, what's the funny thing in there? Did you pick up on the one thing in there?
When he points his hand, when he says,
yeah,
you know that, he points his
yeah, that's right. He says, he points to the other guy, touches the other guy and says, I know that. And then he points to himself and he says, you know that. But they don't know.
You just pointed to the engineer. Now he's going to play something stupid. You shouldn't have done that.